Perfect Talk is what it do. It's your guy DJ Playboy holding it down for another episode. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. On this episode, we're going to talk about Kanye West being banned from an Italian boat service because of exposing himself in public. Also, we got to talk about Beyonce's little issue with the IRS. Shit, what's going on over there? The guy Diddy, he done did it. Gave his artists back they publishing. And of course, we celebrating black excellence. Like my guy Deion Sanders in Colorado doing their thing over there, you know what I mean? And of course, Coco Golf in the US Open, man. That and much, much more. It's Perfect Talk, baby. What's good, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk podcast. And you know I'm riding solo dolo out here today, man. Just rocking out for y'all. Just because there's a couple things we got to talk about. You know what I mean? Things going on in the news, things going on in society. What's new in my life? Kid went back to school this week, so it's back on the early wake up grind. You know what I mean? I'm not a late sleeper regardless, so year round I kind of get up early, so it's not that big of an adjustment, but it definitely is different when I got to get other people up as well. You know what I'm saying, to make sure that they on their grind and getting to where they got to go and lunches getting packed and all that. So it's been an adjustment in that sense, but we riding it out, you know what I mean? Kid doing it, so we got to do it. Make sure she gets through all the way to college, you know what I mean? Then we make a decision when we get to that point, you know what I mean, what it's going to be. Hopefully the student loan situation be a little different. But let's get right into it, man. Let's get to Plicka's spotlight story. And that's when I take a news headline that may not be getting the biggest attention, but something that I feel like I got to shine some light on. And this one says that ADHD meds are still in shortage. It's been over a year, or just about a year, that suppliers have not had the resources to make, or at least from their perspective, to make the amount to keep up with the demand that people have nowadays. Now the DEA, they disagree. They say that the suppliers have more than enough of the resources and they don't want to up their permission to acquire more. The drug makers say that they need the DEA's permission to get more of it, so it's a back and forth kind of thing going on there. But I think something that makes it so serious is, one, like I just said, school's starting back up, so a lot of kids need ADHD medication, you know what I mean, just to get through class. A lot of people use it just to get through work. So the fact that we're going on over a year of a shortage, it really makes you scratch your head. Now, obviously, abuse is playing a part in this, and there are people who use, drugs like Adderall, things of that nature, recreational purposes or for whatever you want to call it, but not necessarily, being diagnosed it. So that's got to be affecting the numbers as well. But I mean, I think what I really want to shine a light on is there's probably, not to disregard anybody's struggle and what people go through, and if you have a kid that suffers from it, my heart goes out to you. But part of me has to believe that there might just be like an over-diagnosing of this, you know what I mean? For so many people to be suffering from it, for so many people to need it on a day-to-day basis, it really makes me wonder, like, and everyone has their own views, but are we trying other resources before we go to the medications? Are we trying to find other things? Just because when I think of medications, I think of becoming a lifetime customer. You know what I mean? Because you're going to need that. If it's helping you to get through the day, it's going to help you get through the week. It's going to help you get through the month. And eventually that's going to be, a bill for the rest of your life. And I just want to know that, and I haven't done enough research on this, but it does make me wonder if we are doing enough in regards to just mental health, in terms of just not necessarily medicating, but it could be something as simple as talk therapy, meditation, you know what I mean? Like breathing techniques, things of that nature, as opposed to like quickly medicating somebody or just assuming that, they have it. Cause obviously there has to be misdiagnoses out there. But it just really, or even really wonder what the source is, you know what I mean? Let's put some research into why these numbers are going up so high. But definitely, I mean, if we're going to look at it as if all these cases are valid cases and all these people do need it to get through, there shouldn't be a problem to up the resources to supply that need, you know what I mean? But I think just because we caused such an epidemic in terms of with the opioid situation, that people, that obviously the DEA is a little bit hesitant to want to up anything because they know where that could lead to. And if that goes unchecked, that it could turn into a serious problem. So just something I want to shine a light on, you know what I mean? And my heart goes out to, all the people out there who on a day-to-day basis do need these medications and can't get it. I'm reading stories about people traveling, up 10 to 50 miles away, just to get a couple pills, and if it's that serious, like it obviously it has a hold on them in a sense where they feel like it does what it needs them to do to get through. So I respect that, and we live in a country that has more than enough resources to supply, and also enforce, certain rules to make sure that the abuse doesn't happen. So I think we need to lean on that. We need to look into what we can do to not have people going out of their way to already pay for expensive medication, now adding on gas and travel fees just to get it. So it's a crazy place where we live in. You got and not to get too like Roe v. Wade on you, but you have people traveling crazy distances to have abortions. Just to have some certain medical procedures. And it really, I don't know. It just makes you just so concerned with where this country is at, just in healthcare wise, and what we do in terms of medication, in terms of what you can do with your bodies, in terms of what's regulated and allowed. So, yeah, it's a scary situation out there. Like I said, my heart goes out to the people out there who can't get their ADHD medication. Thoughts and prayers, man. Moving on, man. We got to take it up to my guy's favorite segment. It's called "Put Some Respect on My Name."
My name, come up, respect. Yeah.
Let's go.
Stop playing with my name.
And if you don't know, this is when I let you know if I got respect or speculation just for a certain topic that came up in the news, something that I wanted to shine some light on. Shout out to my guy Spec. He couldn't be in the building with us today, but this segment's named after him. If you don't know, check us out. Shout out to everybody watching us for the first time. The First Lady, Jill Biden, earlier this week, she tested positive for COVID-19. Eventually later in the week tested negative. So I guess she's heading back to the home and from unquarantining herself, but it just, numbers are on the rise. I'm hearing about this new variant, BA.2.86. I'm sure they're gonna come up with a cool name for it already if they haven't. And it's just like, I don't think we're anywhere near where we were during the pandemic. I don't think we're gonna go back to those times, but it really puts you in like a time capsule where you can look at, all right, it's 2020 was when it happened, so now it's 2023, we're 3 years later, and it really was like, that was our reality. Everyone was masked up. People were told that they couldn't go to the bar. People were told that they couldn't go to have gatherings. People were being rebellious and like, I'm going to this wedding, I'm throwing this party, when they could, and some places were enforced more than others. It just shows you how quick time changes, man. Like that was 3 years ago. That was not that long ago, and it was life when we were in grocery stores masked up, everybody walking the same direction through the house. Unless you was the rude boy, you'd be like, nah, I'm going this way, fuck that. But everybody else felt like they wanted nothing to do with catching COVID-19, So you was wiping down your products when you got home with antibacterial. I don't know if I'm going to approach, because obviously numbers are going to go up. It's fall now. It's just like every other sickness, it's going to go up in this time of year. But COVID especially, I don't know how I'm going to approach it. It's something I've been thinking about actually for the past couple of years. If I'm just going to raw dog it, if I'm going to get the booster, I don't know. I really, I think the best advice for whatever side of the coin you fall on is, take care of yourself, stay healthy, as much as possible. If you suffer from things that make you more prone to catching it than others, then maybe that's a conversation you should have with a health professional or what you should do. But no, like, think about what you put in your body. Think about what you ingest, work out, get some fresh air, like, that's the best defense in my opinion. But do what works for you. You gotta do what works for you, man. I'm not out here trying to tell anybody what to do in that regard. I'm just giving you a little time capsule. I seen the First Lady got it. Obviously, the media is gonna play a part into it and just be like, oh, numbers on the rise. But if you really do your research, it's obviously nowhere close to anything it was. I think they said it when hospitalizations were up 15.7% in the past week and deaths 17.6%, which obviously anybody dying is nothing to just brush off, but those aren't huge numbers, and then compared to what we've seen at the heart of this thing. So yeah, it just shows you where life goes. You know what I mean? Like as this, the virus is mutating from what they're saying, and it's always evolving, it's always moving. But I guess we as a culture are just learning how to like live around it, live with it, and live through it, not let it shut us down. Yeah, it's going to be one of those things that we just think back and be like, did that really happen, man? Did that, you know what I mean? It goes up there with just 9/11 and any other, crazy events that people might have lived through. Like, damn, that shit really happened. Like, you know what I mean? Respect or speculation. Mitch McConnell looks like he was cleared by the Capitol doctors to continue doing his job. They didn't see any long-term effects, despite freezing twice in public, the second time happening recently.
All right, I'm sorry, you all working? Need a minute? Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
And it's a weird thing to watch. It's not even funny. You know what I mean? It sucks because I can't imagine going through that. Talking is what I do for a living. You know what I mean? So to just be frozen in front of people, that's got to happen. It also makes you think, like, how many times does it happen in private? You know what I mean? Or at least, just when not window cameras are around. So it's scary. And you know what I mean? Nikki Haley was quoted this week as saying, the Senate is the most privileged nursing home in the country. Nikki Haley's running for president on the Republican side. I think Rand Paul, he said he has his doubts that the Capitol doctor provided valid medical diagnosis after Mitch McConnell's freeze up, because I think one of the reasons that the doctor was given for it happening was possible dehydration. And Rand Paul's like, that's not dehydration, dog. You know what I mean? But yeah, I want to quote Dr. Brian Monahan, the Capitol attending physicians, confirmed in a letter Tuesday that he examined McConnell after his latest incident in front of reporters in an event in Kentucky. Monahan said there's no evidence that McConnell suffered a stroke, TIA, or movement disorder such as Parkinson's disease. I mean, Nikki Haley saying they should be taking cognitive tests as early as 50. You know what I'm saying? But definitely for the people up there in the higher age. I know you've seen the clips of Dianne Feinstein, her handlers kind of telling her to vote, where they just say yes. You know what I mean?
Submitted.
Yeah, just say aye.
Okay, just
Great,
aye.
Thank you.
And it really does make you think. You know what I mean? Obviously, all the Joe Biden videos. Should there be term limits? Like, should there be age limits to doing this? Because these people are making decisions that can go way further than their lifetime, right? I mean, and that's true for anybody, but where's their level of concern? You know what I'm saying? I think or even where's their level of cognitive evaluation for the problems that come up? You know what I mean? How much is slipping through the cracks? So I do think there should be maybe not age limits, because that comes across as being kind of ageist, but definitely term limits for these jobs. Or like, maybe you could hold it down for 8 years, and then somebody else got to come in, and after like 4 years say you want to come back in, and you did a great job 4 years ago, bring them back. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean? But you got to earn it. Make them earn it every time that they get it. You know what I mean? Don't let it just be one of them things that it kind of feels like the crown is just being until death. Nah, we don't. That doesn't sit comfortably in a democracy. You know what I mean? So it's scary to see, though, man. Thoughts and prayers for Mitch. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see that happen on camera again. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's not even great content anymore. It really is just something sad to see. So we're wishing him the best, and thoughts and prayers with Mitch McConnell, but it is something to think about. Respect or speculation. Sean P. Diddy Combs gave his artists back their publishing this week. It's something that I think Mace, one of his artists back in the day, has been very vocal about. Something that Puffy has been rumored for a long time to not be giving artists their publishing. To that's something that was in the contracts, and from the Locks to Faith Evans to 112 to Mace, obviously being the most vocal about it. It was an issue. I don't know how unique that is. I get the vibe that it is a little unique, that not every label is taking the publishing from artists, or at least to that extent. Because I don't feel like Diddy wouldn't be called out for it. So I think there must be something unique to what he was putting in those contracts and how they were being set up. Shout out to him, for giving it back. Obviously, he's turned down a one of those big deals where, they want to buy your catalog. And a lot of artists from Bruce Springsteen, Shakira, Dr. Dre, where they sell a nice chunk of their catalog. And I think it would have looked a little weird to take one of those big payouts and not have compensated the people, who wrote some of that music properly, the right way. Now I've seen people like Mark Curry, come out and say, yo, it ain't worth nothing now. And I'm not going to front like I got more in knowledge of the music industry. But I find it hard to believe that people aren't going to be using Mace looking at me, in like a movie for years to come, or Kissing You by Total, like they got a lot of bangers that like remind people of the mid 90s. So, when you have period pieces that are going to be talking about that time frame, when you have just, a scene in a commercial, like there's songs out now that I never thought we'd be hearing in commercials, So like, whoop, there it is, Montel Jordan in the Uber Eats commercial, So it's like it sky's the limit. Like I'm sure nobody else is really gonna be like, yo, thanks for nothing, because they know that there's value to some of that music. Mark Curry, maybe the songs that he was on, he felt like they're not gonna have the longevity. So I can't knock him for feeling like that, but I beg to differ. I got a little bit of speculation for that part of it. Do I think Puffy was doing it out the kindness of his heart? Yes and no. No, because he has an album coming out. It's great to have press leading up to the album. But I say yes. You didn't have to do it. You signed a piece of paper that said the man is able to keep this da-da-da. You know what I mean? So, you had lawyers check it. People probably told you that part about it, and you sat and thought about it, or maybe you just didn't know. But he didn't have to do that. So, I'll say, that's where the yes comes in, out of the kindness of his heart part. But shout out to Diddy, man. Shout out to everybody out there getting they bag from selling their catalogs or publishing on the back end, and that's gonna bring us to our next segment, man. One of my favorite segments, called Have You Heard? And if you don't know, that's when I put you up on game on some of the top headlines that just hit the hot off the presses. Beyonce, biggest female tour of all time for now. A lot of other, a couple other females out there this summer, but we're gonna see what the numbers coming at the end. But Beyonce holding it down at the moment, but also holding down some tax issues. IRS trying to hit her with like a $2.7 million bill. Like, yo, you owe us 2.7 in additional taxes and penalties. I guess this dates back to like 2019. She received the IRS notice of deficiency. She was ordered to pay $1,442,747, plus an additional $288,549 penalty charge. Those penalties were 20% of the amount of the underpayment of tax, and they were required by the statute. Beyonce was claiming that the borough saw an inaccurate tax fee of $805,850 in taxes, and $160,000 in penalty charges in 2018. She argued in her petition that she owes any taxes. Those penalties should not apply because she has acted reasonably and in good faith. And I say all that to say, man, taxes is complicated, man. Taxes is complicated. You know, if you're making money in any type of entertainment way, get like 3 accountants to watch people because you hear about all types of stories, man. I could give you a list of people who just, you know, been in problems and some of them getting locked up for tax issues. Ja Rule, Fat Joe, Lauryn Hill, you know what I mean? Willie Nelson had some tax issues at one point. Tony Braxton, Mark Antony, Method Man, the METHOD, man. R. Kelly has his share of legal problems, but tax problems are one of them. You know what I mean? Nina Simone had tax problems. DMX was locked up for tax issues. It's the list goes on. It just shows you that, like, they looking at you, especially the bigger you are. They checking every cent that's coming in. Number one. But number two, you know what I mean, it's complicated, and there's tax laws, and it was made complicated for a reason, you know, to benefit certain people. So, you know what I mean, just make sure you up on game, because if somebody like Beyonce could go down, you know what I mean, if somebody like the president's son, you know what I'm saying, could go down for tax issues, it could happen to any entrepreneur out there trying to hustle, man. So, yeah, man. Thoughts and prayers of Beyonce. I mean, she gonna figure that out. That's not that much money for Beyonce, so I'm sure there's nothing silly that's gonna happen. And you know what I mean, she is allowed to, I guess, dispute it and see where it goes legally, but it just goes to show you, like, you don't know, like, you know what I mean, you making charitable donations, you getting money from this place, you get money from that place, you know what I mean, like, it gotta all be claimed, man. Have you heard Kanye West and his wife Bianca Censori banned? I want to make sure I get the right name of this company. Banned from the Veneza Turismo Motoscafi water taxi company. If you ain't know, you know what I'm saying, I'm sure you've seen the pictures by now. Kanye West was buttons out, you know what I mean, on the boat. A little speculation, respectful speculation. You think Kanye was getting that heady wop? You know what I'm saying? Think he was getting that sloppy toppy? I don't know if it was just pictures made to look like it, you know what I mean, so he could get the attention, or if it was really something that was going down on that boat. I mean, I seen the video, and the one where the dude that's on the boat turns around. He looks like he sees something he didn't want to see. So, I mean, you don't know. But also, Kanye's wild enough to really just do anything for a headline. So, on that end of it. But they said no more. You're not allowed on our boats. You know what I'm saying? We really rock out for the ballers and the shot callers, but you can't be balls out on the boat, and you wilding out here, Kanye. But Kanye is living life like he's on the Idol. You know what I'm saying? He is out here just wilding. That's weird to me. That's one. If that really is your wife, which who knows? Because so they always put it in quotations when they say his wife. I think there's one article I'm looking at called her his partner. So, but if that is your wife, that's obviously not showing her no respect. And it's just like, I'm hungry for a headline. I'm thirsty, you know what I'm saying, for attention. I really just want, you know what I mean, a public place, people around, like, you know what I mean, you're already one of the most famous people in the world. Like, it definitely screams I need attention. But what does Kanye do that doesn't scream that? I want to give a shout out to Deion Sanders, man. I don't know why Deion Sanders got everybody with they panties in a bunch. They get nervous about Deion Sanders talking braggadocious. You know what I mean? They get nervous when they hear a black man talking that talk. You know what I mean? It happens with Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Like, they get nervous. But, no, Deion Sanders is doing the damn thing. Shout out to him in Colorado. They beat TCU last week. While I'm recording this right now, they play in Nebraska. So we're going to see if Deion could talk that talk. Because, you know, like, the haters want to see him go down. The haters want to see, you know what I mean? They say pride comes before the fall. So they definitely want to see him knocked down. But he's been doing it on every level, professional, at the HBCU level, and now, you know what I'm saying, in the Big 12. I think is the name of the conference that they play in now over there in Colorado. So they making noise, man. So shout out to Deion. Keep doing the damn thing. Black excellence, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Coco Golf Also in the U.S. Open later today, after I'm recording this, I'm going to go watch her in the final. She's taking on Arena Sabalenka. You know what I mean? So shout out to Coco Gauff. I'm wishing you all the luck. My guy Israel Adesanya, he's fighting on the, you know what I mean, tonight at the UFC. So go check that out. Shout out to Izzy holding it down. And that's another episode in the books, man. Shout out to everybody out there watching us on the YouTube. Shout out to everybody out there listening to us OG style on the podcast. Man, keep listening. Keep doing what you do. Hop in them comments. Leave a review. The algorithm loves it, man. Find your boy DJ Playboy on X, formerly known as Twitter, at DJ Playboy. You can find me on Instagram and Threads at Plickapeezy, PLICCAPEEZY. You can also follow Perfect Talk on Instagram at Perfect Talk Radio. Make sure you check out the website, www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Let me see. We are available on Apple Podcasts. We're available on iHeartRadio. We're available on Spotify. We're available on SoundCloud. Where are we not? I don't know. You know what I mean? Go check us out. We all over the place. Well, of course, we are here on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit them notifications so you can know every time we drop an episode, man. And we just going to keep holding it down for y'all. We doing the damn thing. Dropping episodes like it's slippery, baby. Check us out, man. Wherever we at, wherever we doing. I'm going to get up out of here. But make sure you go enjoy the day. You know what I mean? Spread love. Like I said, go check out Deion Sanders coaching at Colorado. You know what I mean? That game's on right now. I'm about to go watch that. And make sure you go check out my girl Coco Gauff do her thing in the U.S. Open later, man. And we up out of here, man. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. It's your guy DJ Playboy. I'm up out of here, y'all. Peace.